we can't even agree on the basic understanding of something, right? So like for example, we'll take a math book, right? Or no, we'll just take like a science book, right?
All right.
So if I say gravity exists, and I'm going to tell you why it exists, and the the fundamental aspects of why it's a thing, but then you come back and you go, well, I don't believe that gravity is a thing. We can't even have a conversation about how it's a thing because
Like
you
flat
don't even
earthers,
believe.
bro.
Exactly. Like you can't tell anything to flat earthers because you can't even agree on the basic bottom level principle of what the earth is. So you'll never be able to hold a conversation with them because when you break it all down, they're going to disagree with you on every single level and every single principle. So you'll never be able to have a proper conversation with somebody.
I think it's
So, I
crazy
mean,
because you
yeah.
can like live in a whole different universe, bro. Like when you have a spherical Earth, the physics of the how it moves in the Earth is completely different. If it's a flat Earth, you can't have the same physics it's like a whole different universe, literally.
Yeah. There's so much proof out there disproving flat Earth theory that I can't even believe it's still a thing. I mean, you got to understand. I mean, you got to believe that some people are just trolling because it gets them attention, or it's a trope. You know what I mean? Like they just do it for attention to get like the wow factor. But I mean, there's definitely still people that in their heart truly believe that. I mean, we have
Kyrie
that kind of
Irving.
stuff. Yeah, but I mean, like, do you believe that he believes it, or do you believe that he's just trying to get people in conversation I don't know.
Like
I
be
don't know.
weird. Like I
that's what
feel
I'm
like
saying.
some people do that. They try to get attention by being extra weird.
It's because I feel like in this, like, it's like the cool thing to be opposite of
Correct.
whatever the world, you know what I'm saying? So if I'm like, I don't know, you got to read 1984. It's a great book. Someone's going to be like, that book is fucking trash, bro. It's the worst book ever. Just because they want to be like, it's like
Different,
the cool thing to be different. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think like if it makes sense in my head, then it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like if the math lines up and I'm like, that makes sense. It makes, like, the flat earth theory does not make sense to me. I can't wrap my head around it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like spherical earth and it's orbiting, and that makes sense to me. And I'm like, okay, that's
how does it make sense to you, bro? Have you seen the earth in its sphericalness, bro?
No, but like,
you've been on the International Space Station and look at the earth, bro.
Exactly.
How do you know? You can't really know. It's just what's in a textbook that really tells you and what other people tell you.
And it's like they want to say the government is pushing this forward, right? The government's trying to tell you that the earth is round, right?
Yeah.
Do you know how many people would have to be in on that secret?
Because there has to be an end, right?
Well, no, and I'm just like, nobody's going to be able to keep that secret. If it was a government secret that the earth was flat and they're pushing this round earth agenda, there's multiple hundreds of people that know this. Nobody's ever going to keep that secret. Somebody's going to leak it. So I'm waiting.
And like, what would be the benefit is my question.
Exactly. Yeah. Like they think that we're somehow monetizing this spherical world to somehow make money off of it. How? Explain to me how they're making money off of the earth being flat, but we're telling everybody it's round. It makes no goddamn sense. It makes no sense at all.
What makes no sense to me is, all right, if earth is flat, then that means that there has to be an end, right? Like that you could just fall off?
The ice wall, man, I'm telling you, it's like 150 foot. It's dude, I'm ashamed to admit that I've read more on this than I'm happy to admit. They believe it's an ice wall that's like 150 feet tall. They believe that some people believe that the world government is actually paying military to patrol this ice wall.
Yeah, but
and do you know how many people it would take to patrol an ice wall that circled the earth?
I mean, it kind of makes sense because aren't they spending so and like a lot of money on the government, on the military for no reason?
There you go. See, exactly,
It's
man.
possible, bro.
man.
Yeah, exactly.
Jason's in a flat Earth theory.
Hey, bro. Nah,
Yeah.
you know what? The Earth is flat, bro. I believe it now.
Hey, it's fun. It's fun to throw these out there and talk about it. And I mean, on a certain level, I hate to admit this, on a certain level, that kind of thinking, it's needed to a certain extent in order to push us forward.
Yeah.
I mean, Galileo, he came out saying that the Earth wasn't the center of the universe and that it was circling the sun, and people thought he was crazy.
He died for that, right?
He got killed for that. I'm pretty sure.
And he was
because
right. Crazy.
I know, right? But think about it from the aspects of the people that didn't believe him. I mean, he was spewing garbage that there's no way is possible. I mean, we're the center. I mean, look at the stars. Look, the stars are circling us. The sun is circling us.
The moon's going around too.
The moon's going around. Like, we're the center. And he's like, I'm not 100% sure. But facts. He did scientific facts. He did research. He was able to duplicate his findings. I mean, you got to be able to prove all this stuff. You can't just. It's one thing to have exactly. It's one thing to have a theory, because that's what a theory is. A theory is an idea that hasn't been proven yet, right?
Okay.
So there's tons of theories out there, but it becomes a law when you've been able to measure it, when you've been able to prove it, and then when you've been able to prove it multiple times over different variations. That's the whole concept. So I mean, there's still things that there's things that we still consider, like for example, there's I can't think of one on the top of my head, but there's just a ton of it's theories and laws, right? So like gravity, we've proven
Gravity,
that gravity
that's what I was gonna say. That's
exists because we've been able to prove it over and over again, and we've been able to measure it, and we've been able to have other people that disagree with it test it out and having it come true. So now it's a law. It's no longer a theory. So that's the same thing. Like there's a reason why it's called flat Earth theory and not flat Earth law.